Lisa, welcome.
Hello.
Karen, good morning.
Morning.
Nice to have you all here. Great. We'll get started in just a few moments, folks. If you haven't seen in the chat, those are the items, the suggested items for class today. Good morning, Ramiana, Melanie, Hannah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so a myofascial ball or a therapy ball or a tennis ball, if you have one. If you don't, it's okay. We'll just use it briefly at the beginning of class. So it's no big deal if you don't. And then we're going to get cozy today. So I want you to really gather items that are going to bring you comfort. That's the most important. So items of comfort. I do suggest you have 2 blocks, 2 blankets, a strap or a scarf. And then however else you want to support yourself towards the end of class, we'll be slowing it down just for some deep restorative work. Good morning, Pooja. Marjorie, good morning.
Morning.
Anadi, good morning. All right.
Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon. Where are you coming from?
Saratoga Springs, upstate New York.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Glad to be here.
I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you.
I am in Boulder, Colorado, and so we have a nice little snowstorm coming today, which we're all thrilled about because we need the snow. We need the moisture badly. Okay, I'm gonna pause here on Zoom land for a moment so I can pop over to Instagram world and say hello to Instagram. Thanks for spotlighting me, Valerie.
Sure.
And let's just see here. Let's go live with Geer Grace. Checking my connection. All right, we are, good morning, Geer Grace, live. We're here for a morning flow class that's going to really focus on nourishing the bladder and the kidney meridians. And if you're not so sure what that means, it's okay. We're going to be focusing a lot on the back line of the body, a little bit of the inner thighs as well. These 2 areas of the body really focus on the water element in Chinese medicine. And the water element has all to do with winter and our ability to slow down and to nourish the body and really help to kind of preserve all those reserves that we need to support ourselves to get through the winter. You know, for some of you, you might be in a warm area, and that's wonderful too. But what's really important, I think, more than ever right now, is this need for us to slow down. And so this class is going to give us an opportunity to do that, to slow down and to create a little more introspection, to be able to find that sense of stillness in the body and to be able to be comfortable in that space of stillness. So today I'm here to guide you through that practice, and we'll begin on our backs. But first, before you do so, if you didn't see, for my friends here live with me on Instagram, you'll need a myofascial ball if you have one, or a tennis ball. If you have a couple of blocks, a couple blankets, a strap or a scarf, and really just any items that you'll need for comfort. And all of the proceeds for today's class is going to support our center. And this is a Colorado-based nonprofit really supporting people in need. And so if you're over on Zoom land, there's a link over there. And on Instagram world, we'll provide a link for that after the class is over. So I would appreciate your support. It's so great to give, especially in this season. So without further ado, I'm gonna make my way over to the mat. And Valerie, if anything comes up on Zoom land, you'll chat me or you'll let me know, okay? Thank you all so much for joining me today. I'm so grateful to be here. Once again, my name is Allie Geer. So before we get started, I want you to take your 2 blankets and we're gonna just get our blankets ready for the rest of the class, okay? So I'm gonna have you take 1 blanket, and if you have these yoga style blankets, I'll have you open it up 1 time. And then from the long edges of the mat, we're gonna just start to fold that over and under. So it's making almost like a mini long bolster. So I'll do that 1 more time for you all. I unfolded it 1 time to make a larger rectangle. And from the long edge, I'm gonna fold it over, and then I'm gonna flip it under, kind of like an accordion. And you can just set that off to the side. Take your 2nd blanket, and with your 2nd blanket, what I'll have you do is open it up 2 times to make a much larger rectangle. And your fringe is gonna be on one end. As you can see, the fringe is in my hand here, if you have one of those style blankets. All I want you to do is I want you to start to make a really tight roll with that blanket and smooth it out so there's no, rough edges. But what you're gonna do is just start to roll that up. We'll use this more towards the end of class. But you're just gonna roll that up nice and tight and then smooth it out so that you feel like there's no lumps or humps. Good, all right. So you're gonna set the rolled blanket off to the side. The first blanket that we folded, place that next to your mat, and I'll meet you on our backs. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and just come onto the back. You may want to have your strap accessible. And when you arrive onto your back, I'm going to have you take that blanket that you folded into thirds, and I'm going to have you just bring your knees into your chest, and you're going to place that blanket just right over the tops of your knees. And then you're going to lower your feet back down to the ground. Take your feet wide, bring your knees together. We're going to start here in constructive rest. And I want you just to take a moment here just to arrive into your practice. We're all coming from different parts of the world, the country, different time zones. So let's just take this time here just to arrive onto our mat. And using that blanket to support you, just like a really gentle weight. And then from here, let's place 1 hand onto heart and 1 hand onto belly. We're gonna begin with a 3-part breath. So let's exhale out all the breath together. And then we'll take a full round of natural breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, as you're inhaling, I want you to imagine like you're breathing into your belly, into your chest, and into your heart. Expand that breath all the way to the throat and crown of the head. And then same thing as you exhale, you're visualizing the breath moving back down the spine, chest, heart, all the way down into belly. So that's the technique, and just really keep your awareness into that space. So breathe into belly, to chest and heart, throat, all the way to the crown of the head. And then exhale, same way, go back down the spine, chest, heart, belly. And see if you can just begin to elongate your inhalations and your exhalations. This practice is designed to really bring you into this inward space where we can begin to feel nourished, where we can really support the body, nourish those reserves in the body through the bladder and kidney meridians. So I want you just to stay in this awareness of your breath, staying present as you feel your body being breathed. Let's just do 3 more rounds together. Inhaling into belly, chest, heart, all the way to the crown of the head. And then nice and easy, exhaling the breath out, then the breath moving back down the body. Notice if you kind of start to feel scattered in the mind, if the mind's kind of ready to move, see if you can just stay present in your breath. 1 more round here. This ability to slow down is truly a learned habit. So the more we practice it, the more natural it can become. So I encourage you to stay with it. 1 more time. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now you're going to take the edges of that blanket and start to draw your knees in towards your chest. You're going to place that blanket now over your shins. And using the edges of your blankets, I want you just to start to squeeze your thighs into your belly as we get a little release perhaps into that low back. Perhaps even into the physical space of the kidneys, into that low back area, mid back. I want you to imagine that you're expanding your breath now from the belly to the back. That might mean you need to add a little more effort to feel that expansion through your breath. And then you're just going to slowly take your hands back into the strap or blanket, and you're going to place your right foot now into that blanket and start to extend your leg to your degree while you drop your left foot down into the floor. Now, if your blanket kind of feels a little weird, you can switch out to your strap here. We're just going to spend a few moments just kind of saying hello to the back line of the body. So not going into your deepest stretch of the day. As you can see, my knee is bent. I'm getting just a really gentle blood flow and circulation as you tune into sensation in the body. So you're extending your leg to your degree, maybe finding where you start to feel just that little tug of the skin. Just soften through the back of your head, your shoulders. Make this effortless. And then you're going to bring your knees back into your chest. Blanket over your shins again. Take 1 more little squeeze here as you draw your knees into your belly. Nice, easy breath. And then we'll switch to the second leg. So now you're going to place the foot into the blanket. Extend your leg while you lower your right foot to the floor. And remember, you're just extending to your degree. Especially since the hamstrings aren't quite warmed up yet, I want you to find just a really gentle opening through the back line of the body. You can imagine, for those of you not familiar, when we talk about the bladder meridian, we're stimulating the whole back line of the body. So starting at the feet and moving down through the center of the calves, the hamstrings, all the way up through the sacrum, all the way up along the spine. This is what we call the bladder meridian. Really important for nourishing those reserves within the body, for nourishing the fluids within the body. When we talk about winter, we start to really acknowledge this ability to go within. Take another deep breath in, and then exhale out. This class is designed to align you with nature. Slowly draw both your knees into your chest. Place that blanket right over your shins 1 more time. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then you're going to set that blanket over to the side. We'll come back to that a little bit later. And then from your side, or come on back to your back again. And we're gonna just start to find a little bit of rolling. So now we're getting a little bit more stimulation as we begin to prepare to activate through the core. And just keep it light. Nice, easy breath. You're rolling a little bit back and forth, maybe massaging into the spine, into the hips, the pelvis. The next time you come up, I'm gonna have you stay there. Place your hands beside you, or you can have your hands on your shins, but draw your shoulders back and lift your chest. Start to engage a little bit of connection and a little awareness into the core without the need to create unnecessary tension in the upper body. So just find that little drawing in as you connect into your strength center. Pause there. And now we're gonna start to move nice and slow. Keep that connection, start to roll it back, roll it back, roll it back. And again, gather momentum, come all the way back up to your seat. We'll do that just 2 more times, just to kind of wake up that area of support. And then slowly, 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 start to roll it back. Come on up. This is the last one, I promise. Nice and easy, start to roll it back. Come all the way up, and then this time, you're gonna cross your legs, come to a seat, and then make your way into all fours. And then in all fours, I'll have you take a moment just to move through some cat-cow variations as we now just kind of find that movement through the spine, the hips, the pelvis, inhaling into cow, and then exhaling to cat. We're gonna sit the hips back towards the heels. So we're gonna add that into our flow. Inhale, you're gonna shift forward into cow, heart lifts. And as you exhale, round your spine, draw your chin towards your chest while you bring your hips back towards your heels. Let's do that 2 more times. Nice and easy breath, inhaling into cow. Exhaling to cat and making your way back. Getting a nice little stretch through that low back. 1 more time, inhale and exhale. Sitting hips back towards heels. On your next inhalation, come back into all fours, tuck your toes, lift your hips and expand into a downward facing dog. And take a moment in downward facing dog. Just start to kind of recognize and feel your body. So feel your body as you arrive into the posture. Tune in to the experience of your breath. You can bend one knee while you straighten that opposite leg, noticing how that kind of shifts the sensation. And you can switch it out, then the other knee while you straighten that leg, tuning in once again to sensation without judgment. Most importantly, you're here, you've arrived onto your mat to tune into body. And then on your next inhalation, slowly look forward. You're gonna start to step your way to the top of the mat. If you have 2 blocks, you could maybe place your hands on 2 blocks should you need them to give yourself a little support. And on an inhale, you're gonna bring your hands onto your shins, take a half lift and lengthen through your spine. And then as you exhale, just fold forward to your degree. As you inhale, you're gonna press into the feet, come all the way up to stand. See if you can reach your arms above your head, getting nice and tall with the spine. And then exhale, bring your hands beside you. Good. Now we're gonna take a little brief intermission with our therapy ball. We're just gonna take a moment just to wake up those feet. One of my favorite things to do on a daily basis is a little bit of love into the feet. I'm not gonna mirror you, so we're gonna be on the same foot, but I'll look like you're opposite. If you don't have a therapy ball, this will be really quick, so you can just watch and observe. So you're gonna take your right heel and you're gonna step your right heel in and out of your ball. If you need your wall for a little more support and balance, use it. Step in and step out. And then step in and hold pressure while you take that standing leg and ground it down into the floor. And then from here, just start to kind of rock your heel side to side. Imagine like you're digging the ball into the ground. And then roll now to the ball of the foot. Let your heel drop to the ground. Same thing, you're gonna start to rock across the top of the foot, really just mobilizing the joints of the toes here. Remember, breath is most important. So you're rocking side to side, using the breath. And then we're gonna start to just roll now from the ball of the foot towards the heel, and then you're gonna drag it back. Rolling from ball of the foot towards the heel, drag it back. So you're just rolling through the arch of the foot. Nice, easy breath. And then we're gonna come into an acupressure point actually for the kidney meridian. So really, really grounding, earthy point. I'm gonna pop over here a little closer to the camera and show you. So if I come to the ball of the foot, right below that, as you can see here, is going to be where you're gonna place that ball. And I want you just to hold a little bit of pressure. So you're gonna place the ball kind of right below the ball of the foot, sink in to your degree, and I want you to breathe. You're gonna hold that pressure there as long as it feels tolerable. It's not painful, sharp, or shooting. Really good point for grounding. Nice, easy breath. Relax into the jaw. Maybe find a smile. Deeply nourishing the body here. Let's take one more breath. And then you're gonna come off of that. This is just a really light, superficial touch. We're waking up all the little sensory nerves at the bottom of the foot. And tension is so key when we're doing this work. So stay present. Stay with your breath. The mind wanders, anchor back into the experience. Go ahead and step off that myofascial ball and take a moment. I want you just to feel the feet as they ground down into the earth. Notice your breath and tune into sensation in the body. Notice the difference from one side to the next. And then I'll have you switch directions. So go ahead and step your left heel now onto the myofascial ball. And then you decide how much pressure you want to apply. Step in and ground down through your standing leg. And then you're going to imagine like you're digging the ball into the ground. Remember, it should never be sharp, shooting, or painful. Just really gentle hydration here for the feet. And this is kind of this starting point for the back line that I talked a little bit about in the beginning of the practice. So starting at the feet, we can work all the way up the chain. So the backs of the legs, all the way up the spine to the top of the head. It's all connected. So just rolling the feet can really have a huge impact on the body. Now come to the ball of the foot, heel drops to the ground. Again, you're gonna just start to rock across the top of your foot. Mobilizing the toes. Nice, easy breath. And then we'll do a little bit of rolling now from the ball of the foot towards the heel, light pressure dragging back. So you decide how much pressure feels good for you. Stay connected to your breath. And then I'll show you that spot one more time. You're going to find that kidney point, that acupressure point. If you go kind of right below the ball of the foot, we're gonna come right onto that kidney point. So you're gonna place the ball right on top there. And I want you just to sink in. Like I said before, really grounding, nourishing point for the body here. You're sinking in, nice, easy breath. Good. So glad you're all here today. Thank you. Thank you for showing up to your practice. Sink in, breathe. And then you're gonna just slowly start to come off of that pressure and then just start to find that really light superficial touch. I call it scribbles. Really good for stimulating all the little sensory nerves at the bottom of the feet. My anatomy nerds probably love that. Myself being one of them. Valerie's here, she's too. Nice, easy breath. Good. And then step on the other foot one more time. Little scribbles, really light touch. And one more time on your other side. Good. You can set the myofascial ball off to the side. We won't use that the rest of the class, okay? So I want you to come back to the top of the mat, feet to your desired width, and take a moment just to spread your toes into the mat and really feel the feet, feel the footprint into the earth. Notice the way the arches are landing, the heels. Tune into your breath. And then as you inhale, you're gonna sweep your arms up to the sky. And then as you exhale, I just want you to bend your knees, bring your hands beside you. Find the bottom of your breath. Pressing into the earth, inhale, sweep all the way up, find the top of the breath. As you exhale, again, grounding down, bend your knees. Little Utkatasana here. Inhale, sweep up, find the top of the breath. As you exhale, you're gonna fold forward. Your hands come onto your blocks or to the floor, whatever feels best for you. Take a moment in a forward fold. Let your head drop towards the ground. Release any tension in the upper back. Maybe nod your head yes and no. And just observe sensation. And then as you inhale, take a half lift and lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, you're gonna step your left foot back. Hands onto your blocks. Lower your left knee to the ground. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, low lunge. Exhale, plant your hands back onto your blocks. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee. We're gonna start to gather a little bit of momentum here. Just step your left foot up to your right. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, you're gonna step your right foot back. Pause there and then lower your knee to the ground. Pause in your lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up, moving with your breath. Exhale, hands back onto your blocks. Back knee lifts off the ground. Inhale, you're gonna plant your hands. This time we'll step back into down dog. And in down dog, I want you to notice perhaps if it feels slightly different from the first time around. Just from that experience, releasing through the feet. Take a nice easy breath in. Exhale it out. On your next inhale, shift yourself forward to plank. You can keep your legs straight, or you can just lower your knees to the ground. As you exhale, lower halfway, and then come all the way down onto the belly. Slowly walk your hands forward, forearms into the earth. We're gonna rise up into Sphinx pose. So anchor through the tops of your feet, anchor through your pelvis, and then draw your shoulders down the spine so the heart can open here. Gaze towards the bridge of the nose so the neck stays nice and free. Take a moment to just experience your breath as you arrive into the posture. It's a really beautiful way to hydrate the spine. Nice, easy breath here. And then slowly you're gonna lower back down to the ground, plant your hands, tuck your toes, inhale, press up to plank or all fours, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment, breathe here. On your next inhale, look forward and start to step up to the top of the mat. If you need, you can place those hands on the blocks again. Inhale to half lift and lengthen. And then as you exhale, you're gonna fold in. Bend your knees, sweep your arms up, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands come into prayer. Take a moment to breathe here. Good. On your next inhale, start to sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale again, bend your knees, hands beside you, find the bottom of your breath. Inhale, sweep up, reach up. Exhale, bend your knees, hands beside you. Inhale, reach up, expand through your breath. Exhale, find the ground, find the bottom of your breath. Inhale, sweep up. As you exhale, transition to a forward fold. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, you're gonna step your left foot back. And this time we're gonna stay high with that back knee. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, start to straighten through your front leg now. So both legs straight. If you need to, you can even come up a little higher on your blocks to give you more space. Draw your right hip slightly back here and just take a moment to tune into sensation. Inhale, bend your front knee, head up, chest up. We'll pulsate in and out from lunge to straight leg. Exhale, straighten the leg. Draw the chin towards the chest. Inhale, shift forward, heart lifts. Exhale, straighten. Just moving through the body. Inhale, come forward into your lunge. Again, we'll start to just kind of pulsate a little bit on that back leg. Use that momentum to step your left foot all the way to your right. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, right foot now steps back. You're in a low lunge with the knee high. As you exhale, start to straighten through your front leg and just pause there. Maybe notice if this side feels a little different today. You can even bring your chin towards your chest. Notice if any sensation shifts slightly. Tuning into the breath and that effortless ease in the breath. On your next inhale, bend your knee, move back into your low lunge, head up, chest up. Exhale, back to straight leg. And I'll just have you pulsate in and out of those two postures. Inhale to lunge. Exhale to straighten. Inhale to lunge. Exhale to straighten. Inhale to lunge. This time both hands come to the mat. You're gonna step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward into a plank with your legs straight or your knees to the floor. Exhale, you're gonna lower halfway and then come all the way down onto your mat. This time we'll come into Cobra. So hands beside you, fingertips into the ground, palms pressing into the ground. And then before you rise up, I want you to connect into the anchor of the top of the feet and the pelvis into the ground. Stay connected to those two anchors while you press your hands into your mat, lifting from the back of the heart, coming into Cobra pose. And then just soften any tension in the neck, perhaps gaze towards the bridge of the nose to elongate through your neck. Exhale, we're gonna come all the way back down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift into Cobra. Exhale, fold back. Inhale to Cobra. Exhale to lower. Inhale, you're gonna press up and back. Take a moment to rest in child's pose. Let your hips drop towards your heels. Feel your arms expand, getting a little stretch through the arms. And just take this moment to slow it down and to tune into breath. Nice, easy breath here. And then when you're ready, you're gonna slowly make your way back to downward facing dog. And then slowly start to step your way up to the top of your mat. Take your time. Once you arrive at the top of the mat, take the feet just a little bit wider. Actually go mat width. Clasp your hands behind your back, just a little bit of chest opening. Bring your arms forward to your degree. If you need your strap, grab it. Bend your knees. And then just nod out through your head, yes and no. A little connection into the space of the heart. And I want you to notice here if you can expand your breath from your chest all the way into your back. Breathing in and out through the nose. And then slowly release your hands. On your next inhale, you're going to come all the way up to stand. One more just really simple flow. So I'm going to have you side face your mat, and you might want to have your blocks accessible should you need them. Go ahead and step your legs wide, and then turn your feet so that they're parallel to the short edges of your mat. Bring your hands onto your hips, draw your shoulders back. Inhale, lift from your chest. And as you exhale, you're going to fold forward to your degree. So you might want to bring your hands onto your blocks. Maybe the hands come all the way to the ground. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stimulating those inner thighs. A little into that kidney meridian. Nice, easy breath. On your next inhale, you're going to press into your feet, and we're going to slowly come all the way up to stand. Turn your left foot out, bend your left knee, coming into warrior two. Just a little water flow here. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, come back up to center. Press into your feet, parallel feet. Exhale, flow through the midline to the earth. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold. Press into the feet. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Turn your right foot out. Bend your right knee into warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, come back up to center, parallel feet. Reach up, get nice and long. Exhale, fold through the midline to the earth. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold and stay. Any arm variations that feel charming at the moment. Nice, easy breath. Shake out a little excess energy in the upper body. Maybe nod your head a little yes and no. Feel the way the ground is supporting you. Bringing blood flow into the brain. Stimulating that conscious awareness in the body. And then slowly, you're gonna look up and then gaze towards the top of your mat. We're just gonna walk ourselves back to the top of the mat, making our way into downward facing dog. So just take your time, start to pivot through your feet, hands planted to the earth, downward facing dog. And then option, if you'd like, you could move through a vinyasa, or you can stay here in down dog. I'll guide you through the vinyasa, coming forward into plank. Option for straight legs or bent knees as you lower halfway. Come all the way to the ground. Nice, easy breath here as we rise up into Cobra. And then we're all gonna meet in a child's pose. Take a moment to land in child's pose and just settle deeply into your breath. Nice, easy breath here. And then slowly shift forward back into all fours. And I'm going to have you make your way to a seat. Once you arrive onto your seat, you might want to grab that tri-folded blanket that we had draped over our knees. You might want to just keep the fold, but just place that right underneath your pelvis, should you need a little support in some of these seated postures. And then if you have any other comforts, if you have pillows or bolsters or blocks, you might want those to just give yourself a little bit more of a restorative feel to these next few postures. So I encourage you to just take the time to just slow it down and to really relax. This is this time that you've created for yourself today. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and just walk your feet wide. Taking the feet nice and wide. We're first just gonna flow through the midline. So as you press into the sit bones, I want you to inhale, lengthen, feel the spine lift up out of the pelvis. And then as you exhale, you're gonna start to walk your hands forward to your degree. Now, should you have a bolster that you'd like, you could maybe place that bolster in the center, or maybe a couple pillows, maybe a couple blocks, any items that you can use here to just let the body settle into the earth. So we're gonna take the effort out of the postures here. So I want you to first just feel your heels landing into the ground. Soften through your feet now. So think less vinyasa and more yin, slowing down, finding a sense of ease in the body. Using the arms just to support you, feeling that connection into the earth. If you want to stay here, you could. Maybe it feels welcoming to kind of round your spine a little bit, resting your forehead on something. And then I want you just to tune deeply into the experience of your breath as you slow down the inhalations and the exhalations. Notice the way here that the ground is supporting you. Notice the way your breath is supporting you. See if you can just allow the body now to arrive into stillness as we fold into introspection. This ability to deeply listen to the body, to nourish the body on a cellular level. Nice, easy breath here. And then from here, you're just going to slowly start to place your hands into the support of the earth and rise back up. Take a moment to land back in your seat. And we'll just pause to neutralize a little bit. So you can bring your hands behind you and just kind of rinse the knees out a little side to side. And then this time, we're not going to take the legs quite as wide. We're going to prepare for Shavasana. So we'll start by bending the left knee, and you're going to place that foot into the inner thigh. Now, if that knee is really lifted, you could take that rolled up blanket and you could prop that just right underneath your knee here. So I've got something under my pelvis so that I can sit nice and tall. I've got a little blanket under my knee. That's going to give the hips permission to relax. And then as you inhale, you're going to just slowly start to sweep your left arm up. Again, get nice and tall through your spine. As you exhale, find a little rotation towards your straight leg, and then slowly start to fold forward to your degree. Now, same idea here. If you wanted a little more restorative, you could take a bolster and maybe sit it upright and rest on your bolster. You could take a couple blocks or some pillows, whatever you need to find more ease. And once you arrive into the posture, I'd like for you just to take a moment to settle in. Welcome the breath into the body. Get any of those little wiggles out. Feel the way the sit bones are supported into the ground. Soften through the hip creases. through your thighs. Soften through your lower legs. Notice if that right heel can just land into the ground. And just let that foot do whatever it wants. Maybe it turns out. But wherever you are, let that foot soften. Meaning the least amount of effort in the posture. So you can now just tune into sensation and body. Notice where the breath goes. Give yourself this space to allow for introspection. Nice, easy breath here. And just tune in. Notice if there's any parts of the body that might still be holding. And see if you can just soften, allowing those spaces to land on the ground. Finding perhaps a little more ease. On your next inhale, we're going to use the ground to support us. And as we transition, it will be slow and mindful. Find your hands supported into the ground, either on your blocks, on the floor. And as you inhale, slowly begin just to press yourself back up to your seat. Take a moment to sit upright. Take a full breath in through the nose. And an exhale out through the mouth. And then we'll just neutralize one more time here. So you can bend your knees and wash your knees out a little side to side. Nice, easy breath. And then when you're ready, we'll switch to the second side. So should you need to kind of change up your props a little bit, you can set those off to the second side, taking the feet a little wider than hip width. You're going to bend your right knee, placing the foot into the ground. And then if that knee is lifting off, it will be really supportive just to place that blanket underneath the knee. Remember, we want to just really feel the ground supporting us. We want to feel nature supporting us as we align. And then inhale, right arm reaches up to the sky, get nice and tall. And as you exhale, you're going to rotate towards your straight leg and just nice and easy start to fold forward. And then take a moment just to kind of settle in. I like to do a little kind of rock side to side, just to find that place that feels nourishing, that feels interesting in the body. And that doesn't mean I'm necessarily looking for that big stretch. I'm looking for that space between effort and ease. Perhaps you want to find your blocks or any other props to support you so that you can stay connected into the ground. And then allow the body to land. Feel your sit bones as they drop into the earth. Welcome the breath into the body. Soften through your left heel. Let that foot just turn out. It needs to. Just notice where you can offer more ease in the experience of the physical body, so you can draw your attention inward to the subtle body. Stay with your breath. And just slowly start to press your hands into the blocks and slowly take your time. Start to shift your body back up to your seat. Once you arrive into your seat, just take a moment upright. Breathe in, breathe out. We're gonna come onto our backs, but first let's just take a moment, last time, just rinsing out a little side to side. I'm gonna have you set your blocks off to the side of your mat. You're gonna take your rolled up blanket that we made right at the beginning of the practice, and you're gonna place that down the center of your mat lengthwise. So this is going to be supporting the spine, okay? And we're gonna come into just a little bit of extra support here. That tri-folded blanket that we've had all class, I'm gonna have you place that just right in front of your rolled up blanket. Good. And then once you kind of have that set up, you're gonna come to sit on that first blanket here, offering a little bit of support. And then you're going to come down all the way onto your back. My knees are gonna start out bent. You're gonna come all the way down onto your back so that you feel that rolled blanket supporting down the length of your spine. And then once you arrive, you can kind of spend a few moments maybe rocking the shoulders out a little side to side. It's important that we take the time just to really set up so that we can find that sense of comfort. And then you decide, I'm gonna come back into a constructive rest. So my feet are gonna go wide, my knees together. Or you could have just your feet hip width. It'll be a little more restful with the feet wide and the knees together. Let your palms face up. Maybe you wanna even kind of puff up the roll under your neck crease a little bit to give the head even a little more support. If you're feeling a little chilly, you might wanna grab something to place over your chest and pelvis. And I want you just to take this moment here to land, to feel the hips and the pelvis soft into the blanket underneath you. To feel the soles of the feet touching down into the ground. And notice that gentle support moving up the spine, beginning at your low back. You might even notice that subtle curve still of your low back. Notice the way the blanket is contacting the area of the mid back. Maybe you could even imagine you could breathe your attention into that space of the mid back. Notice the way the shoulders are landing into the ground. The front of the chest is soft as the arms are soft into the ground. Notice that natural curve of your neck. Notice the back of your head as it softens into the blanket underneath you. Let the eyes get soft. Let your breath be natural and at ease. Just feel your whole body landing here. And take 3 more slow, mindful breaths. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the nose. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And out. And slowly walk your feet back to hip width. And we're going to be mindful. We're going to slowly transition onto the side, just knowing that it's going to feel a little interesting as we come off the blanket under our spine. So just being mindful as you slowly shift over onto your side. And we're going to just take a really brief moment to set up for Shavasana. So press back into the floor. The blanket that you were sitting on, the tri-folded blanket, you're going to take that and place it over your 2 blocks. And this is going to support your knees for Shavasana. So you'll take your 2 blocks side by side across your mat, and you're going to drape that tri-folded blanket just right over the top. And then if you want, if it felt really nourishing to have this going down your spine, you can keep that. Otherwise, you can just unravel it a little bit and use just a partial roll to support the back of your skull or the back of your neck. So just take a moment to set up, and if there's any other comfort that you need, now is the time to grab that for Shavasana. So maybe you have an eye pillow, or maybe you have a little bit more like a sweatshirt or a towel, anything that you can use for more warmth and for more comfort. And when you're ready, you're going to drape your legs over the block in the blanket, and then slowly lower down onto your back. And then once you arrive, just give yourself a few moments to kind of set that up. If you unraveled, you can take the long edge of the blanket and just kind of tuck that up to support right at the base of the skull here, giving the head and neck like a cradle of support. And then once you arrive, just take a moment to land. Feel your whole body now begin to settle into the ground. Whole body at rest. Notice that you can soften through the heels as they land there into the ground. Soften through the lower legs, the knees, the upper legs and thighs. Soften through the pelvis and the hips, the whole lower half of your body, soft and at ease. Soften through your spine, your belly, and your torso. Your shoulder blades effortlessly at ease into the ground. Your upper arms, elbows, forearms, palms of the hands are soft. Soften through the curve of your neck, the back of your head. Soften through your eyes. Soften through the whole upper body. Whole body at rest. Whole body landing on the ground. Slowly begin to draw your attention back to the rhythm of your breath. Begin to notice your fingers, your toes. And just start to roll your ankles and roll your wrists. Getting that blood flow and circulation. Should it feel charming, reach your arms overhead and give yourself that nice awakening stretch. Gently draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself that squeeze, that gentle release into the low back. Slowly transition yourself onto your side. And once you arrive onto your side, use your hands to support you and just slowly start to press your body up to a seat. Once you arrive into your seat, take a moment. Bring your hands to your heart. Draw your attention back into your breath. Imagine if every little box in this space here on Zoom, on Instagram, imagine us all being together in one space. Imagine that collective energy in this one space together. And as we take this moment to honor this practice, to honor this time we created to tune in, to slow it down, and to deeply nourish the body from the inside out. We honor this practice, we honor these teachings, we offer namaste. Thank you all so much. So great to have you. Thank you, Kira Grace, for hosting me. Always an honor to be here. Bye, Instagram world. I love you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Donations are there in the chat box for the R Center. You can find me on Instagram, Allie. And let's stay connected. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
That
so
was-
much